Welcome to another video, crazy bonsai video. I'm just making a cup of tea. So yeah, crazy bonsai video. This is one of mine. I've said before, so if I call a tree mine, it means it's been started from the beginning by my crazy minded self. Because you buy these trees or you acquire trees that you just continue the style and maintain them, look after them, love them. But yeah, this is one of my trees, Picea. Basically, I've got to say, it was a Christmas tree, a little Christmas tree. Same as the other one I did the other day. Or did I do one the other day? I've got a few of these. Yes. So if you've watched the video of the Alberta, it's the same, but different ages. I bought that one last year for Christmas, just for a bit of fun. This I've had since 2016, and it's been this style for about 4 years, guessing 4 years, something like that. It was a stick. I had it in a pot. This turntable was about as useful as a handbrake on a canoe. It's useless. So you can see the bend in it. There, all the way up to there. So I had it in a pot. It hasn't actually thickened up that much down here, but it has up there. So that's our exercise today. Take the wire off of it. Oh yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so it was in a pot on its side. So the natural bend, yeah, it followed the sunlight. That's what I'm getting at, which helped. And I did that for a couple of years, and then just pruned it here and there just to keep it under control, because they do get out of control, these little Piceas, and they have a lot of dieback because obviously they produce such a dense growth. Everything dies inside, light can't get in there basically, you know what I mean. So yeah, what we're going to do, we'll take that off. Yeah, don't ask. Right, this guide wire going from just below the apex down to here as an anchor point, that's under major strain. I just had a twang on it. It's been on there for a year. Sorry, just getting me bits and bobs together. Yes, been on for about a year, and even though I've got a bit of rubber on the top, it's quite yeah, proper tight. So we're going to rewire that, excuse me, and reposition this, because it is cutting in. It's starting to weep. Not good, needs to heal. We'll see if we're going to do it today. I'm not sure. I've got a feeling as soon as I cut this, it's going to be like a trebuchet. That's French, that is, by the way. Oh, he's not too bad. Oh, he didn't move a lot, did he? Ah, I'm pleased with that. I think a lot of the tension was the fact that the wire was resting on the dead wood in here, so it felt like it was tight. That's good. I'm chuffed with that. Chuffed, I say. Chuffed. Love it when a plan comes together. Right, we'll get rid of this. My hand's in the way probably. Film crew's got the day off again. Right. We got here. Get rid of that. Here's me Twizzler. I want to get this out because sometimes you can reuse these. Me Twizzler. I left it in there because it's so fiddly. So I explained the other day on one of my other videos, when you're using this technique to pull branch down, this is a good example, but I had no choice because of where I could only get this. So it was like that on it. I'm getting confused myself now. Because I couldn't get the Twizzler, that's the technical terminology for it, by the way, couldn't get the Twizzler in the middle of anchor points because of this bit. I had to bring it down, and you can see what's happened. So the shorter section, it's gone really tight. The longer section had a load more potential in it. There you go. Share that with you. It's all sticky. It's all sticky. Right, what are we doing? Talking waffle, that's what we're doing. What we're going to do, I'm going to move my cup of tea because I've only just made that. I'm going to pull these out just because it's a busy old pot. There's a lot in it. This pot is probably one of the busiest I've got in the garden. There's a lot going on in here, so it's probably even busier on camera. Right, we've got some. Well, there you are. Parsley. It's not parsley. It smells like parsley. What it is. This one doesn't take on that many weeds. I haven't weeded this for ages. They ain't coming out. Right, where's me? There we go. Good technique. Get under there with these. Open your scissors. Get under there. Get into there. Get between it. Give it some. Come on. Nah. He's well in there, isn't he? He hasn't snapped off yet. Don't give up. Come on. Ah, not bad. I think I left the tap in there on the shower. Yeah, he's in there. He'll grow. Anyway, this needs repotting anyway. I just wanted to tidy it up so it wasn't so busy on screen. Let's just tear it because there's a lot of this Irish moss in here. I'm not going to moan about it. I'm not going to mention it. Although I will mention, I always call it a moss. It's not actually a moss. It's a grass. There you go. That's all I'm going to say about it. Right. Pickety poo. Right, the rest of it is decorative. Let's leave it decorative. Right, clean up these things here. Nasty things. Nasty. Right. It's good. Yeah, this turntable, I don't know what's happened to it. It's just a table. It's not turning. Yeah. It's just a table. Right. I'm going to try and get some of this other wire off because it's starting to cut in. I've left some of it to cut in. It's going to be fiddly. Fiddly diddly. Yeah, there's a lot going on in here. It was a different shape. Oh, Jesus. Getting there slowly but surely. It was the apex. It was a bit of a nightmare getting them out because there's so many bugs up here that I'm relying on. Being a bit careful. Leave wires in brackets on my elbows in the way. Elbows. Elbows. You can leave wires in branches and trunks on one condition. You buy me a pint. No. So if you wire up a trunk and you let the trunk grow around the wire eventually, that is it. You can't really manipulate that trunk ever again, because what will happen is as soon as you start bending and twisting that trunk, the wire inside that's within that trunk will just damage everything internally. It'll rip it to bits. You can get away with it by, as soon as you know that it's eating in and you're not going to get it out, but there's a little bit of wire exposed, if you just go in, best example here, I've taken them all off now, haven't I? I'm fool, I've taken them off. Right, I don't even zoom in. Let's zoom in on here. Let's do some zooming. Do some zooming. Zoom. Right. So, where are we on the camera? It's all a bit deceiving. That one, you can see that, I can't. That's really awkward. Right, anyway, right, pick this one. Where's me pokey jiggery stick? Right. See this one here? We're on the right one? Right, if you wanted that one to eat into the trunk, let it eat into the trunk, and then let the trunk consume it, but make sure you can get to certain areas where you can just nip it like that. So when it carries on growing, that wire will move apart and you've got a little bit of flexibility. It won't strangle it completely. It will certainly strangle it, but it won't strangle it completely. And then you can manipulate trunks in the future without doing too much internal damage. So I had an old tree. I've had many old trees. But I had an old tree which I bent the trunk on and it died. And I just thought it was down to me being a fool, trying to give it too much. And it wasn't until years after I kept it for some driftwood, the trunk. And I cut the bottom off because it had rotted. And as I cut it off, there was a wire internally. And although I was disappointed for years, thinking I'd killed the tree, well, I did kill it, but I did think to myself, oh, maybe it wasn't entirely my fault. Maybe it was because it had the wire inside it. Anyway, there you go, little story for you. Right, okay, we're getting there. Oh, we're gonna be here a while. God, man. Bit like scrappy challenge, this is. All wires in a BT box. Patience, patience. Scrappy challenge. That's still on TV? No, I don't watch TV. Last time I watched TV, Terry Wogan was on it. And Richard Whiteley. I always thought he was a better radio DJ than a TV presenter. Ooh, I once got some mesh from Marrakesh. In fact, I bought the lot and came home with a bonsai pot. Could this be any fiddlier diddlier? Ooh. Anyway, yeah, sorry, I was bumbling on then. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, leaving wire on. Larches, they don't like it. Ooh, a bit sensitive in the winter, cold weather. I think it's because the wire gets cold. Yeah, larches don't like it. I've had a few branches die on me over the winter. Well, they just don't needle out. Buggers. Yeah, so I'd imagine there's a few other trees. White pines, I do wire them, but I'm a little bit more wary over the winter. Put them in greenhouse. I'm going to have to leave that one in there. He's in there. He's growing around it. I'm just going to nip him like that so the wire can... Does look good. I don't care anyway, it's my tree. Do what I want. Do what I want. That's the sound of silence, by the way. Right, we got to a stage where we got this wire here holding this branch down. This one's tucked into it, which I can probably get out by coming in from the other side. Might be able to thread it through. Jiggery pokery. Or not. No. Okay, so I don't think there's a lot of tension on it, but then who's to know? Didn't think there was a lot of tension. Oh, I thought there was a lot of tension on the other one. We'll come in. No, we won't. We'll come up. We'll come in. We'll come up. We'll come up. Nipping off there. Right down bottom. Because I say I often use these again. Not for the same job, obviously. Snaring dragons. That's what I use them for. No, just handy. Handy for tying up things. Tying up the locals. And get into this wire, because what I didn't want, because I noticed it's cut right in. There we go. Just release it. I might be able to pull that first section out actually. I can get me nail in now. I'm going to leave it because I'll start ripping tissue. It's already ripped. No, step away from it. It's not worth it. Right. These branches, I'm not sure. They were there, left them. Now I get different opinions on this tree. Generally my own opinions. I end up arguing with myself. There is a gazillion buds all over this. It's going to be good. I think it's only just settled into this pot. It's been in this pot for, I think it's 3 years. I think so. I got photos of when I first repotted it. It went downhill 3 years ago, so it must have been. No, it's got to be in this pot for 4 years. Then I say 3 years ago, I moved house, and I left it at my ma's. My mum looked after it, and bless her, she's got a reasonable sized garden. She had enough to do without worrying about my weird and wonderful hobby, as she calls it. So although she watered them, she wasn't very structured. She's more of a naturalist. If it rains, it's good. If it doesn't rain, well, just wait until it rains. And yeah, it dried out. It did dry out. The top perished a little bit. But it didn't suffer too bad. They bounced back. Sometimes it's good if you lose a branch. It lets light in. And they do back bud. What anybody says. Don't believe them. Of course they do. Look at the top. Crazy. Right. I'm just going to get rid of this one here and see what that branch does. I don't know if I'm going to keep these, because I want eventually this tree to be three-dimensional. Can you see? And we've got these two feeding through this hole. I think the tree will get to a stage where it won't need those lower ones. I'll be able to pull the higher ones down. Right, I want to try and get the wire off of this. So, same technique. Go with the flow, go with the line, pull it directly out of the groove. Some interesting shapes. I think we might have hit these little tertiary wires. Wire everywhere. How's that look? Can I get that one through there? Oh, look at that. Very beautiful, that one. Right, I think, yeah, he's eating in, and he's eating right in. So I'm going to have to be really careful here. Shorten the wire, a little bit more control over it. Where does he go? Nobody knows. Right, he's coming off. Because if I can release that bit, it won't strangle it. There we go. You can hear the cat snoring next door. Totally amusing. Banksy. The old cat. He's not old. He's not old. Eight years old. But yeah, he does snore. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do with this one is just not wire it for a year. Let everything heal up. There's a lot of wounds to be nursed. Well, not nursed, but recover. Fiddly diddly, isn't it? I'm probably blocking your view again. Well, this is easier out here. Oh, I could do these all day long. Mind them buds. Leave them buds alone. Yeah, I could do this all day long. I actually have a bit of wire to use on someone else. Rip the tissue. Oh, we don't want to rip the tissue. Right, he's out. He's a good one. I like him. I can reuse him. Go with the rest of the scrap yard. I'm in your way now. I did find when I used to bend these quite a bit, I was under the illusion years ago, when I was first kind of getting into the whole design of bonsai. I did find years ago that when you want to bend a branch, and I think it applies to most plants, junipers, pines, usual suspects. You think that it's better to bend it in the summer, in the growing season. That's what I was always under the illusion. But I had a few breaks on these, and I've had it on white pine as well. Snapping white pine branches in the summer when you're wiring them. And I always thought they'd be easier to wire because there's more sap inside flowing through everything. Suppler. I don't think that's the case. I might be wrong on this, but I think it's something to do with the way that the branch expands in the growing season, or the trunk. Everything's filling up, it's moving a lot of water around, got a lot of sap movement, and I think because of that everything inside opens up. All them little tubes that are inside the trunk and the branches, they all open up, so they're not as tight. The space is in between. I think that's the reason why they break so easily. I may be wrong, I don't know, but that's what I think. That's what I think. There's probably some kind of science behind it. But yeah, I had a branch on one of the little white pines which I snapped in the summer. In fact, I might have done a video on all them little starter trees. Got loads of them, and there's one that, yeah, I tweaked it a bit much, and it didn't just, it literally snapped. It gave me no indication it was going to do it. It just went, and then that was it. I was like, oh, torn that. Anyway, banging on again, waffling. This is tedious, isn't it? Whose idea was it to do wiring? I don't do it. No other bugger does it. What I need is some Cornish pixies. Apparently you can buy them on eBay. Get a family of them, like just under a tenner. I think it's a bargain. Cost you about £300 a week to feed them, you know. But apart from that, they are cheap to buy. And they help you out in the garden. It's all getting a bit sticky now. All getting a bit sticky. I don't know if you can see this. You see me waffle on about pixies and stuff. Right, it's good. Right, let's get rid of that one. Don't need that. Ah, that was looped. I thought that was coiled around there. Could have used that. Never mind. It's not all about the wire. It's not all about the wire. Keep it straight. Minimum tissue damage. Oh, clean as a whistle. They say that, but I wouldn't want to blow anybody else's whistle. Don't know where it's been. It's bloody cold now. A lovely cup of tea. Needed that. I was getting dehydrated. So I did a video the other day wandering around the garden because the sun was out, and I showed a couple of pieces of deadwood, and this is off the same root. It's that first bit in the video. It's off the same tree, off the same root, off the same tree. And I'm going to do something with the other bit which I'm a bit unsure what it is. I'm not quite sure what tree it is. I've been up in the woods and looked around to see what other trees are growing in that area, but they're all hazel, which is a bit bizarre. It's definitely not a hazel, I know that. But yeah, I'm a bit unsure what it is. It looks like redwood. the colour of it, but that could be because it's just wet. But it's in the greenhouse now, drying out, and I'm going to do another Tanuki. It's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be something that I've never seen, well, only in my head. But then there's a lot of things going on in my head that nobody else has seen. Really a good thing. Yeah, I've got a really good idea for it. Quite unusual. It's not going to be, in fact, it's a plant. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to catch me out then, won't you? It's a plant that I've never seen as a bonsai. There's probably a reason for that. But I think it'll work. I really do think it'll work. I'll let you into one little secret. It flowers. And it's not a rose, because I've seen a few rose bonsais. Well, I'm going to tell you. It's sat in the garden at the minute. I've been prepping it since last summer, letting it go long and leggy so we can get maximum movement. That's all I'm going to say. So if you want to look back through that video and look at all the plants in the garden, try and work out which one it is. I don't think I filmed it actually, because it's in a different part of the garden. It's in the secret garden for secret stuff. Stuff that shouldn't be put online. Right. This is a labour of love. Right, I need to get rid of this one in here. Just where this tied in. He's strangling. And the only option is to unwind it without causing too much damage. How's that look? Can you get hold of it? I'll tell you what, if you ever want to practice wiring, these are the trees to do it on. Because they're so intricate. But then watching this video, you've probably been put off. You're like, sod that. But it is good practice. It's good practice getting the wire off. It's harder to get the wire off than it is to put the stuff on. When you put the wire on, you got all the room in the world. And you're slightly excited because you're changing your plant. It's all a positive. This, well, it's a positive. Everything seems to have set quite well. God, he's tight. He is tight. So yeah, taking wire off is a lot harder than putting it on. Right, is that going to come out now? Come on. You know you're wanting. Eee. Try not to rip that tissue. It's awkward. There we go. Pull it in the right direction. What's going on under here? He's a sneaky one. And there. Come on. God, you hold on to these needles. They're so fine. Right, how are we looking now? We're looking good, aren't we? Right, I've snipped that one so he won't strangle. Cut that one, he won't strangle. Right, I think we're done on the back, front, back, front, front, back. How does it look? There's that one there. Yes. just get in here. Let's just take it on. I can't afford to leave it all on. Thing is, I find if you not give up, if you think, oh, I'll leave that wire on. I'll leave that bit of wire on for a bit longer. But then subconsciously you look at the tree and you go, oh, that's alright, I de-wired that the other day, there's no wire on that. And then you come back a year later and then you think, where the bloody hell did that wire come from? And it's too late then. The tree's consumed it. So I always think if you're going to take the wire off, especially something like this, do it all in one go. Easy to miss as well, easy to miss wires. I'd say this one, this Picea, I think, when it comes to it, is more of a challenge than the Bourbonensis that I've got, the large specimen. I can call it a specimen. I'll call it what I like, but I think it's a specimen when you compare it to others. Not the best specimen, I'm not saying it is, but it is classed as a specimen. But yeah, that was tricky to wire. Well, not tricky, it's quite easy actually. You had longer spaces in between the internodes. All these, look at that. I mean, it's so dense, it's unbelievable. But it was just, I reckon there was over 700, over 700 candles I wired on that tree. On average, I reckon. I did a quick count on a couple of pads and I got to the stage where I thought, well, okay, we'll times that by X amount, and yeah, I was up to about 700. So it's time consuming, not necessarily fiddly, that tree. This is both. This is time consuming and fiddly. Eeh. You certainly don't want to be doing this in a bad mood anyway. Not that I ever get in a bad mood. I have a soul of pure delight. You can hear that weird noise, it's the cat scraping the side of the kitchen unit. Thinks he's burying his food. I don't know any cat has buried their food with a kitchen unit before. That worked out quite well down there because it was concerning that I wasn't going to get this bit out. It's worked alright. Stop scratching, what are you doing, you weirdo? What are you doing? He's an old dog thing, he is. Another branch. Pull him straight. Hold your finger on it. Yes! Ho ho! Result there. Is this the last bit? I think it is, isn't it? I think we're on it. What's going on in there then? Fiddly diddly. There you go. Got him out. Right. Hook him back up through. He'll just sit there. Look pretty. There we go. Right, get out of the bloody dishwater. You're burping bubbles. Bloody cat. Right, all the wires off. It's It's ridiculous how much wire was on it. I bet I'll notice the weight different when I pick it up. Loads of it. Right, anyway, wire's off. I'm happy about that. I'm not going to do any more work to it tonight because it's getting late. It's getting late and I've got work in the morning. And I've done enough today. I did a video on, what did I do today? I've done loads. What did I video? I videoed one earlier when it started raining. It wasn't the conifer. Oh, what was it? I videoed something. Oh, pomegranate, yeah. Had a little pomegranate lying around. Did a video on that. Yeah, nice little show in that will become. Yeah, that's what I did. God, I don't know. Forget what I do. Right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to tidy up because I'm going to chill out because it's been a long day and I've got to be up early in the morning. I need a shower. Right. Okay. I think all the wires off. I think. What do you think? I think. Right. Does it look good? It's not bad, is it? This was bought from Morrison's. Trying to think what supermarket. Morrison's. I reckon I wouldn't want to put money on it because I'm not a gambling man. But I reckon this is the best tree that Morrison's has ever sold. Unless somebody else has got one out there better, which they may well have. Be good. Somebody else has done something like this with a tree from Morrison's. I'm sure people have. It's good though, isn't it? Just shows what you can do. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop picking around at the moss because I'm just making more mess, which makes it more work for me in a minute. Get out of it. So yeah, there we go. This flipping turntable. It's not even a... It's just a table, isn't it? Right. Get rid of that. What a load of old crap that is. Right. Zoom in on it. No, I'm not going to zoom in. I'm just going to spin it around. I think it looks alright. We'll sort out these two branches. I'll leave the snail in there. You've probably all been shouting at it. There's a snail in there! Yeah, I know, I saw him earlier. He's alright. There we go. One tree from Morrison's. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you laters.